Wouldn't it be for the best to put your anger aside?
It's too late for that. I have a moral obligation. As the one who created the world system, I am responsible. Even if it kills me. Still, it must be done.
I am Nate WL777 and this is Character Piece. Today we'll be reviewing an anime by the name of Dimension W. This is a science fiction action anime. It is 12 episodes long. It was originally released in 2016. In 2036, a fourth dimensional axis called Dimension W was discovered. Devices known as coils were created to make use of energy that exists in Dimension W. The series begins in 2072, while the world system is nearing its 10th year of operation. Coils are the primary energy source for all things, from cell phones to robots. Collectors are people who are hired to hunt down illegal coils. The story focuses on one such collector named Kayama Mabuchi. First, I'm going to start with the story. I believe that the story here is pretty solid. It's not outstanding, but definitely a solid story. There is lots of depth to it, especially later on as it gets deeper into the story. It is a very decent world building. Again, it's not fantastic, great, but it definitely gets the job done, builds the world well. It sometimes can be a little confusing. I think that they do a good job of sort of bringing it around at the end, but there are lots of things in there that maybe they don't fully answer while things are done certain ways. At times it does seem like there's a lot of conveniences going on that are allowed to push forward the plot, without fully explaining why it is those things are happening. Just a little bit of confusion there. Some episodes drag, but mostly the vast majority of them definitely kept my attention, kept me wanting to watch. I felt like it was a pretty easy watch. Again, some kind of dragged a little bit, but most of all, it kept me interested. The characters themselves, I would say that the main characters are definitely well developed. They are very interesting, well fleshed out. But the side characters probably could have used a little bit more development. A lot of the side characters are just kind of throwaway, where it's like they're there, don't really bring a lot to the table. Again, kind of used to advance the plot a lot of times, but they do a really good job with the main characters themselves. The side characters, some of them are a little bit cheesy. There's a little bit of cheesiness, but definitely not over the top. I didn't think, maybe a couple of them, but it wasn't too jarring. Didn't take me too far out of it. Sometimes that happens in anime, but for the most part, I definitely liked, the characters. Again, just felt like they could have used a lot more development in the side ones. The voiceover work. The voiceover work actually works pretty well. Sometimes the dialogue gets a little bit, but most of the time it definitely works very well. I felt like, again, some of the side characters may be a little bit cheesy, a little annoying, but not very many. Again, they didn't do too much to bring to the table. It was mostly the main characters, and I felt like, again, the main characters were very strong, very good performances by all the characters that are main. Animation. I would say that the animation here is fairly strong. Again, not mind-blowing, but definitely good, definitely solid. Especially towards the end, they start to do a lot of things to advance the story that I felt like they utilized a lot more of the animation than they did at the beginning. Sometimes the animation did feel a little flat. There were a couple episodes where just a little bland. But again, once you get towards the end and really into the meat of the animation, it starts to take off and really is utilized well. World building also it's kind of hit or miss. Again, at the end, I think that they did a very good job. Sometimes during the city scenes and early on when they're just kind of introducing the characters and getting you to learn who they are, it's just kind of a bland, okay, city. But again, once they get into the meat and potatoes of the anime, it definitely takes off, and I think it looks very well. The characters' design, I thought, again, they do a really good job with the main characters. Even they say that the main character probably was a little bit bland. There is some characters that were done well, but a lot of them were pretty disappointing. So where they do a good job with, I think, a lot of the scenery towards the end and stuff like that, I don't think that too many of the character designs themselves were attractive to me. I thought it was kind of bland and just But again, the world building was decent. My favorite character is Loser. Loser's kind of an anti-hero. He is, to me, the best designed character. He kind of stands out really well. Also, really good job with the voiceover work for him. He also had probably the most interesting arc out of all of them. I would consider him one of the main characters, even though he's not the main character. He definitely is one of the main characters. And again, I liked him a lot. So. Is it suitable for kids, which is something I do in all my animes? I would say that this is probably suitable for older teenagers. There is a robot that they show nude quite a bit, and it's not fully nude because it's kind of a robot, but the robot is designed to look like a human. It's very convincing. So I think it shows enough that I would be wary of kids maybe under 13, 14 years old. I guess it just depends on what your standards would be. But yeah, I think it definitely shows a little bit of nudity in here. So that brings me to my rating. I'm going to rate this at an 8.3 or a B minus. Again, I felt like there were quite a few flaws in it, but overall the story definitely kept me interested. They did a really good job with the main characters, so that kept me interested. And it's definitely worth a watch. It's, again, not the greatest anime I've ever seen, but it's definitely better than a lot. And so there you go, 8.3 B minus. I'm going to share a link below, as I always do. If you got anything out of this anime review, please give me a like, give me a sub, comment below. Did you like a different character? Was I too harsh on it? Did I overrate it? Let me know what your thoughts are on it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.